Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel and to the second episode of my series Throwback from the 80s, where I try my best to recreate iconic looks from video clips back then in the 80s. Today I'm super excited to recreate the look of one of my favorite musicians, one of the most influential icons and game changers in the music industry for the past 30 years, Sade. Sade's music has been accompanying me most of my life, I think. My parents used to listen to her music when I was just, a small child, and now I still listen to her whether I am trying to concentrate on something or even if I'm with my kids at home and we're doing some arts and crafts or whatnot and I want to have some calming and relaxing music. Sade is one of my favorite playlists for that. So yes, I'm really happy to recreate her look. And most of her video clips, you can see Sade's makeup to be really soft, natural, dewy, and fresh. So I'm gonna recreate her look today. I hope you guys like it. Let's jump into it. Just before we start the makeup session, I want to mention some notes I have here of her and her band. I feel like if I'm recreating her look, it's only appropriate that I acknowledge some of her and their success and their contribution to the music world. So I did my homework. I have some notes here. So here we go. Her name is actually Helen Folashade Adu, I think. She was born in Nigeria and moved to England when she was 11. Later on, her career actually began as a model, which comes of no surprise because, she's gorgeous. And as a singer, she formed a band called Sade, and together they won 8 prizes, and I think they were nominated for like 43 prizes altogether. I think their music is timeless. I think that they were different back then in the 80s. They are different now. They're so not mainstream, and that makes such a difference to the music world then and now, and I enjoy their music so much. I hope this video encouraged you to listen to some of their music. And yeah, makeup time. As always, I start with a clean, fresh face. I already moisturized, but I'll add some more skin prep steps since her makeup is always very fresh and dewy and, lively and beautiful. So I'm going to start with the Caudalie Beauty Elixir and spritz some mist all over my face. And next, I'm going to go for my beautiful Farsali Rose Gold Elixir that I can't rave enough. It's lovely. It gives the skin such a nice, oily but very healthy kind of feel. And such a good primer, such a good preparation for your skin before you apply any foundation or any other product. For foundation, I'm going to mix 3 foundations together, but not really because 2 of them are the same foundation in different shades. So 2 foundations, okay? I'm not that complicated. I have this Sebocalm Moisturizer Semi-Sheer foundation with SPF 29 in light and medium. And I'm gonna mix it with my Revlon Colorstay foundation in the shade 330. 1 pump of the Revlon Colorstay foundation. Just a little squeeze of my light Sebocalm foundation and another squeeze of my medium Sebocalm foundation. And the reason why I love mixing foundations is that I am very hard to please, and I like, the benefits of each foundation separately to give the optimal foundation, the optimal coverage, the optimal shade that I want. And because I'm a pain in the ass. So I'm just applying this on my face, and I'll be buffing it into my skin with my Real Techniques sculpting brush. Just like that. Now, since Sade is always wearing her hair up high, and I'm going to do that too later on, I'm going to apply some foundations on my very red ears. And as always, I'm also priming my lids with the same foundation. Okay, I think this is it for now, and I think we're ready to move on to bronzing. For bronzing, again, I'm going to use a product that is really lightweight and not too intense, and this would be the Natasha Denona Face Glow Foundation in the shade 95. With the same brush, I'm just taking a little bit of that darker foundation, and I'm going to place it in the hollow of my cheeks, my forehead, and my jawline. And just blend it. And this product also gives such a beautiful wash of color without being too harsh, and blends beautifully, easily, and quick. I'm not going to powder yet. I'm going to wait till I finish with my eyes, but next I want to go on with some eyebrows. You can see by her photos that her eyebrows are very round. They are bushy and natural and just round, basically. So I'm going to do my eyebrows, and I'm going to try to mimic that vibe that she has going on. I'm using these MORPHE micro brow pencils in the colors Hazelnut and Java. Starting with brushing my hairs up, I'm going to start with this bottom side, and I'm going to try to keep that roundness. So I'll be very gentle. I usually draw my brows and I give them a little lift by creating this corner, this angle right here. I'm not going to do it today, so wish me luck. Right now I'm just mapping the bottom part of my eyebrow. And once I'm done with that, I'll go over to map the top part, and I'm trying to really keep it round. Like that. Oh, by the way, I'm working with Java. This is the darker shade between the two I have. And when I'm done with most of my eyebrows, I'll go over to Hazelnut, which is a bit lighter. And I'll use it to do the inner portion of my eyebrow. I want to keep it soft and natural. Yes, this is what I'm going for. Eyebrows are done. I think they look pretty nice. They look natural, kind of bushy and round, and that was what I was going for, so I'm happy. And now let's move on to eyes. For the eyelids, I'm going to mix some different shades here, different eyeshadows. I first want to start with this eyeshadow by Ben Nye. This is called the Smokey Taupe, and it might be a little too dark for me, but I'm gonna give it a try anyway. Very gently, and I'm just gonna run it all over my lid. No, I think it looks really good, and I just want to add something there, but not too much, you know. You know what, let me zoom you in for a minute, I'll be right back. Hey, I'm back, and I'm using again this Ben Nye Smokey Taupe eyeshadow with this Natasha Denona number 10 brush, and I'm just applying it all over my lid. I was a bit hesitant about this eyeshadow. I wasn't sure that it was going to work. I thought it might be too dark, but I actually really, really love the natural-esque of the eyeshadow, how it gives some warmth, but not too much. Before I do anything else with the eyes, I want to just add a little liner in my top lash line. First of all, I think that in some of her photographs, in some of her videos, she has some kind of very soft and gentle, barely there eyeliner. And also she has a very almond-shaped eyes. She has a very, you know, tilted kind of shape to them. And obviously I do not. So this is going to help. I'm going to use this nglot Kohl pencil in number 1 to just very, very gently lift my eyes a little bit and do a little bit of liner. For me, I feel most comfortable doing my liner when I have a mirror that I can stare directly to, but I also love to just pull my eyes a little bit outwards to make sure that I really get in there. However, again, it's super important that every once in a while you look straight ahead and make sure that you're not totally off base. So I'm pulling my lid a little bit outwards, and I'm basically just mapping a small line as close as possible to the lash line. And let's say I keep it in the outer third of the eye. I'm just pulling it a little bit outwards, again with my eyes open, looking straight in the mirror. And then, now you can do this with a liquid eyeliner, gel liner, whatever you feel comfortable with. I love using this, first of all, because this product is so opaque and black. And second of all, I can smudge it really easily. Speaking of which, I'm going to do exactly that. I have this MORPHE M508 brush. It's very tiny, it's very dense, itsy bitty brush that will allow me to really get in there and smudge as much as I want. Just like that. Don't worry if both eyes don't look exactly the same and you didn't perform the eyeliner on the spot on both eyes. It's still okay because we're going to add some eyeshadows on top of that and blend it, so you can fix it later on. Now I'm gonna go with another Ben Nye eyeshadow. This one is called Graphite. It's pretty cool tone gray, and I'm gonna go over the eyeliner on the edges of it and add some to the crease itself. Using the same brush, I gently go over the edges of the liner that I did previously. And with my eyes looking straight ahead, I'm going to take the end of the liner right here and just map my outer crease with this Graphite shade. Now, though it is extremely important to do this looking straight ahead, it's also really important to look up a little bit, or should I say look down, and make sure that my eyeshadows are positioned correctly. I want it to be exactly in the outer crease right here, and I'm being very gentle. I'm not putting a lot of pressure on the brush. I really wanted to just stamp it a little bit so I can see where I'm placing the product, and later I will blend it. Before we finish off the eyes, let's do some concealer. I'm using this MAC City Fix Conceal and Correct palette, and I'm using this shade right here, which is a bit pinky or peachy, however you would like to call it. And I need that to color correct the blueness that I have under here. So I'm just applying some product, and I think I'm going to blend it with my fingers. Let's see how that works. Okay, this is a little too bright for me, so I'm gonna go again with my Intensive Skin Serum Corrector by Bobbi Brown in the number 16. No matter how many concealers I try, I always go back to this one. I might need to get a different shade though. I think this might be too dark for me. But with the MAC concealer, I think it would work great. So guys, I have a question for you. How the HELL are you dealing with these allergies that are going on right now in Texas? I mean, man, I had allergies in Israel, but nothing like that. But first, quickly, I'm going to set this concealer with my Laura Mercier translucent powder and a little fluffy, gorgeous brush. And if we're powdering already, I'm gonna bronze a little bit more my cheekbones and forehead. And I'm gonna use this Natasha Denona Contour Sculpting Powder in number 3, Warm. And look what happened. I dropped it. It's okay. There is no chance I will ever go through an entire pan of this. So I'm using the Ultimate Powder Brush by Real Techniques. And I'm just adding some warmth. Okay, so this is something I have to do whatever makeup I'm doing. And it just run a little bit bronzer on my nose and chin. It's just part of my routine. I can't do without it. For the lower lash line, Sade usually has a very nice and soft black liner just underneath her lash line. So I'm gonna go again with the nglot Kohl and do just that. Again, as close as possible to the lash line. And only the outer third. And I'm gonna connect it with the eyeliner on the top lash line. Sorry, I can't talk and concentrate at the same time in English, so it's a little slow. Anyway, allergies. When I got here exactly 3 years ago, 2 weeks ago, I think it was 3 years, and boom, you know, just got here, didn't stop scratching my eyes for 2 weeks, I think. And I was breastfeeding at the time. Didn't want to take any medication. It was the worst 2 weeks of my life. You know, moving here, a screaming baby that is not scheduled. Her schedule was still, you know, totally off. Barely slept. I was jet lagged. My husband was jet lagged. She was a 4-month-old baby. And on top of that, allergies. It was just horrendous. Anyway, so now, I know Benadryl is a good medication here, so I took Benadryl like 2 days ago. It knocked me out. I mean, in 45 minutes, I was in bed, sound asleep for the next 11 hours. Obviously, I can't do that again. So what do you use? I need to try Zyrtec. I heard that's the good stuff here. Cause obviously it's not like I can take Benadryl every day. I mean, I have a life. I need to function. But is it this bad all the time, every year? I mean, how do you get through this? The eyes are almost done. I'm gonna do mascara and lashes off camera since, again, I want to give the effect of like a lifted outer corner. So I'll be right back. Okay, now the eyes are done. For blush, I'm gonna use these Jouer Rose Cut Gems. And Sade, I'm not even sure that all her photographs even have any blush on, but several do, so I'm gonna apply just a little bit, and to keep it very natural, I'm gonna blend these, let's see. Yeah, I think I'm gonna blend this Peach Quartz with this Kiss Me shade, and I think together these two will give a nice, soft and natural feel to it, so let's try that. Very gently, because these blushes are quite pigmented. And I am already pretty rosy cheeked since it's so warm here. And Shai's like, no, we're not turning the AC. The kids are sleeping. They'll freeze to death. For just a little and subtle highlighter, I'm going to use this Cover FX Contour Kit in Light. And I'm going to use this shade right here, number 2, which is very natural, like Lead-In Within kind of thing. I'm going to apply it just with my fingers on the top of my cheeks and just a little bit here on the brow bone and above it. Just that it could give that nice highlight effect when the light hits you. I feel like Sade's trademark is her lips. She has very plumped, luscious, big and, you know, beautiful lips. And I'm going to try to overdraw my lips a little bit to give it a more plumped, fuller effect. And for that, I'm going to use the Natasha Denona Lip Liner Pencil in L17. So now I drew the outer corners of the lips, and now I start with the cheating process. Yeah, I think this is where I'm going to stop. And to top that, I'm going to use another product by Natasha Denona. This is the Lip Color Palette number 12. And I'm going to use this shade right here that is called 59 Wood Wine. Don't be alarmed if you have to go somewhere around your lips to touch up. Like I do, I'm going to use that MAC concealer palette that I used before. I'm going to use, let's see, this shade right here that matches best my skin tone. And with a concealer brush, just making sure I don't have any lipstick where I shouldn't have. Making the edges of my lipstick crisp and clean. And you can always go with your foundation brush just to make sure that everything is even, seamless, and roughly the same shade, preferably. Yes, this is it. Let me zoom you out and we'll say our goodbyes. This is it. This is the final look. Me trying to look and do my makeup like Sade. I hope you guys liked it. I added the high ponytail, the ring earrings, and leave me a comment down below on whether you want any specific tutorials like how to fill in your lips properly and how to do your eyebrows, or even how to do that eyeliner that I did. If you want any detailed in-depth tutorials on those, I'll be happy to do those for you. So let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I'll see you next time. Mwah!